Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. It is a great day for the Torrance Unified School District, and I think for our entire Torrance community. At this time, I would like to ask you to stand. The colors are being presented by the North High School JRT OTC, and remain standing for our national anthem by Ola.
Mark time, march. Color guard, hold.
Oh, say, can you see
Freeze it.
by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
How about North High School, folks? Great job on the national anthem. At this time, I'd like to introduce Assemblyman Al Murasucci. Al's got another event that he has to be to, but he wanted to make sure he was here today to give a certificate. Mr. Murasucci, who, oh, by the way, is a former Torrance Unified School District board member.
Good afternoon, Torrance. This is a beautiful day for our community, a beautiful day for Torrance Unified, and I am so glad to be able to join all of you here today. My name is Al Murasucci, and as Dr. Manning indicated, I'm a former Torrance School Board member, and now you're a State Assembly member. But, I just want to keep it short and simple. I want to say thank you. Thank you to the people of Torrance for making this happen, for supporting the school bonds that built this pool, that's built this aquatic center. And I want to give special thanks to all of my former colleagues, my homies here. Torrance School Board President Mike Wormers, Mark Steffen, Terry Reagans, Martha Deutsch, and the incomparable Don Lee. Dr. Manning, thank you for seeing this through, and thank you all for making the dream happen. Thank you very much. I would like to present a certificate to memorialize this day today to your school board president, Michael Wormers. Thank you very much, sir, for making the dream happen.
Thank you, Al. So at this time, I have some introductions for you, and we have a lot of folks here today, so you'll just need to bear with me as I go through the list for us. And we are going to start with our school board members who Al has already introduced, but Martha Deutsch. Don Lee. Terry Reagans. Mark Steffen. And Michael Wormers, who you will hear more from as the program goes on. Representing our school district cabinet, Dr. Tim Stowe, Deputy Superintendent. Dr. Katie Crumpy, Chief Academic Officer. Dr. Nisha Dougal, Senior Director of Secondary Schools. Dr. Edon Kim, Senior Director of Elementary Schools. Dr. Mario Liberati, Senior Director of Human Resources. Mr. Gil Mara, Chief Technology Officer. Dr. Ramona Chang, Director of Curriculum. And a person that you guys are going to really want to know is John Williams, who is the Director of the Aquatic Center. Now, we started this journey way back in 2014 with the passage of Measures T and U. And as we do in all of our projects, we have a design committee that's made up of the users. And I'm not sure at that point that they really realized what they were going to get themselves into, but there was a lot of work. And with us today are 4 members: Mark Brill, Mark Wade, Phil Trujillo, Phil's son Eric, who designed the logo, Tim Manatee, Tim's in the very back, Kevin McIntosh, Kevin, right back there. Our city of Torrance, Mayor Pat Fury, Councilman Milt Herring, Councilman Kurt Wiedemann, Councilman Jeff Rizzo, Councilman Mike Griffiths, Councilman Tim Goodrich, and City Manager Leroy Jackson. Thanks to all of you for coming out. We also have with us the chair of the measures Y and Z, T and U, and who was the former mayor of the city of Torrance, Frank Scotto. Former Councilman Tom Brewer, and former Councilman Bill Sutherland. Other folks with us today: Mark Warnick, representing Janice Hahn. Hamilton Cloud, special projects for Congresswoman Maxine Waters. Aurelio Friedman from Congressman Ted Lieu's office. And a couple of our people who have served us well through the years as for being on the Bond Oversight Committee, lived in this community for many years, Carl Walther and John McGee. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the President of the Board of Education, Mr. Michael Wormers.
You should remember this day for a couple of reasons, one of which Dr. Mannon actually left somebody off the list, Councilwoman Heidi Ashcraft. He never makes this kind of mistake, so you should remember this for this day. Back about 10 years ago, 2008, 2007, Don Lee contacted me and asked for help running for, helping to work on measures Y and Z, the school bonds. Be forewarned, if Don Lee calls you with that kind of question, there's a real slippery slope from there to being on the school board, so be aware of that. But what I got to experience in that committed me to run for school board and also got me to work on measures T and U, all of which passed with almost 70% of the citizen support. This is what happens when the citizens of Torrance come together and actually produce something. You can see an example of it here and at our schools. So I want to thank everyone for coming out. I want you to realize this is one of the most amazing facilities you're ever going to see, and it did not cost $150 million like the Daily Breeze says. It only cost 15. So enjoy every penny of it, enjoy every minute of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wormers, and my apology to former school board member Heidi Ashcraft. At this time, we have some presentations. So those folks who are doing those presentations, if you would come up, and Tammy Kahn, oh, by the way, who is our PIO, and plans all of these things. But we are going to start with the mayor of the city of Torrance, Pat Fury. Mayor Fury.
Thank you, George. On behalf of my colleagues on the Torrance City Council, we are excited about today. This is a great day for TUSD. It's a great day for the city of Torrance, and it's a great day for the people in the community. On behalf of my colleagues on the Torrance City Council, I have a certificate of recognition awarded to the TUSD Aquatic Center in recognition of the new state-of-the-art Aquatic Center. We commend you for providing our TUSD students a world-class facility for their competitive swimming needs. Congratulations.
There are other certificates from Congressman Maxine Waters and Congressman Ted Lieu and Supervisor Janice Hahn, and those will be presented directly to the Aquatic Center staff, Mr. Williams. I'd like to introduce the folks who really worked on this project. It is a lot of work ground up, you can see. And with us today, and we're delighted to have him, is Mr. Brian Cahill, who is the president of Balfour Beatty Construction. Mr. Brian Cahill. John Squillets, who was the project manager. Paul Thomas, who is the superintendent. Project executive Emily Kay. Many of you know Emily. Tom Schlegel, who is our program manager and been working on all of our projects, and Mr. Don Rondo, who is the general superintendent of construction for Balfour Beatty here in Torrance. And with that, I'm going to have Mr. Cahill come up for the presentation of a plaque.
Okay, so the skies parted for this event today. You planned this thing for years and thought we were going to have a driving rainstorm. But the unique thing about these schools is they're designed to last 50 years plus. And I understand we just celebrated 100 years at Torrance High School. So you never know how long this building's going to be around. And for some of you teenagers out there, some of you students, you may come back here when you're my age and you'll look for a plaque on the wall that celebrates this momentous occasion. On behalf of Balfour Beatty, the construction team, the trades, craftsmen and women that built this project, put their heart and soul into it, we are honored to be part of it. Thank you to the Board of Trustees. Thank you, Dr. Mannion. And on behalf of Balfour Beatty, congratulations. And so,
So at this point, I'd like to once again thank North High School for their participation today. Special thanks to all of these folks who you just saw from Balfour Beatty that I've introduced. By the way, Balfour Beatty set it up for the barbecue, so if you had a hamburger or hot dog, you thank these guys because they provided that for you with it and the amount of work that they have done. And now we actually are at the point where we are completing the ceremony. I'm delighted to see all of you today. We really appreciate all the support that our school district gets. Remember, if you hadn't gone out and voted for measures T and U, you wouldn't have this. So it was the people of Torrance who, Y and Z in 2008, T and U in 2014, and as many people tell me, we can see exactly what you did whenever we just drive down the street and look at what one of our schools looks like now. And that is a fact. You can see how your money was used. So thank you. Join us inside. We have swimmers, so a little exhibition today they will put on with swimming so you can really see what the Aquatic Center has to offer. And that's who this is really about, the swim teams of 4 high schools in Torrance. Thank you. Thanks to all of you. And again, thanks to Tammy Kahn, our Public Information Officer, for putting all this together. Thank you. Now it's the ribbon cutting.
Okay, we need some quiet.